We just clicked. And everything was so perfect between us.
2 children, happy marriage. Elise and Elmer Sanchez eager to show immigration officials they are a real couple. But when they turned up at the immigration offices in Baltimore last year, they told their lawyers in an ACLU video, ICE agents detained Elmer and told him he would be deported back to his native Honduras.
I was just destroyed. I didn't know what my life was going to be like without my husband.
A federal judge just ordered ICE to stop what he called its arbitrary and capricious actions, luring couples to immigration offices on the pretense of granting a marriage waiver, only to detain a spouse under a deportation order. The judge ruled in favor of 7 Maryland couples who have sued ICE, including Hugh Fang Dong and Wan Rung Lin. Lin was put on a plane and flown to Shanghai before the judge ordered the Trump administration to turn him around and bring him back to his family in southern Maryland.
You have married couples who are trying to stay together, being separated by government policy, but because of this court's order, those families get to remain together and get to stay together for Valentine's Day.
The Trump administration argued that the judge had no jurisdiction here, that granting marriage waivers to immigrants who are under deportation orders is entirely at the discretion of the Department of Homeland Security. The judge rejected that.
Stop tricking people.
A Frederick couple, immigrant and U.S. citizen, granted a reprieve for love, at least for now. Bruce LeShan, WUSA 9.